and welcome to the Business Spotlight. I'm Pat Dewar. Today we've got an excellent show for you. If you're a business owner out there, you really need to chime in on this one, especially if you're in the DFW area, but I believe the organization we're going to be talking about today will go way beyond the borders of Tarrant and Dallas County. I've got Valerie Riefenstahl, one of the founding members of the VIPDFW, and you can find them at .org on the internet, is an organization that has been recently formed and created to help business owners find the right, I want to call influencers?
Trusted advisors.
Trusted advisors. Valerie, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks, Pat.
I want to get into the story behind this because you're also have another business with the Alternative Board in Tarrant County, and that kind of started this, didn't it?
Yes, it did. The Alternative Board is a franchise, an international franchise business group that has about 3,000 members in 11 countries, 120 facilitators like my husband Ed and myself. And we bring business owners together to form boards of directors made up of other business owners, non-competing, and they help each other with their operations, everything that from soup to nuts they talk about. But in that, we have 30 members ourselves in Tarrant County. In that, because we are a trusted advisor, we are often asked to recommend someone else that does a specialty thing. And I love getting those requests because it means I can help someone and put two great people together. So, but it is time consuming to think through who I would recommend for their specific challenge that they're having or potentially a good thing that they're having. If, for example, they want to buy a company, they need a good mergers and acquisitions person. And then make that introduction, explain who this is, explain who that is. And last fall, it was particularly heavy in that type of thing. And then I had an emergency request on top of it.
So out of that springs VIPDFW.
Yes, I said well, let me tell you about the emergency. International attorney needed. I know a lot of attorneys. I don't know any of them that's their specialty. And so I reached out to my attorneys that I have worked with in different capacities, and I said, do you know anyone that does international law that's really good at that? I need somebody's staff. And one of them comes back that I knew only as an IRS attorney because he'd represented my firm before the IRS and won. Thank you, Larry Brown. And he comes back on a text that says, I love international law. I cut my teeth on it, love doing that, and continue to do that. And I looked at his website and I'm like, nowhere did it say international law. I did not know this about him. And I've known him for almost 10 years. And I was like, wow, we need a better way to know more deeply and broadly people in all of these specialties, these trusted advisors in all these areas.
So what is the structure of VIPDFW?
It's a nonprofit, so everything that the members pay in will go back to events where the members can meet each other, have a meal together, cocktails together, really get to know each other. We'll have events where they can come and hear in depth what 2 or 3 of them do, like a Rotary classification talk. I love those in Rotary. Because you don't know, you think you know what someone does.
Right.
You think you know where their specialty is, and it's so much more than that when you really get to in a deep conversation. Otherwise, I mean, I can find that out about all these people, but I would have to have lunches over the next 5 or 6 years to have these conversations with people, and then I would know, but nobody else would. So the VIPDFW is set up to bring I think we'll probably it'll cap out at about 100 members, so that they're not competing with each other. They're in their own specialty area, but they get to know all those other people in those other specialty areas deeply.
Now, is this something that's a passion center of yours, or more of a answer to a festering issue that tends to rise?
It will end up saving me time, so I will benefit from it that way because I will get to know Jessica Miller of Chase Bank. She's a commercial lender. I knew that. but I didn't know her sweet spot is 10 to 25 million, and this type of client and that type of client, and the more I work with her, the more I know that we will have that type of information about, like finding out more about what you do and how you do it and how you dice and slice that and how you encourage business owners to do this show, and then what you do with that content, how you inspire people to think outside of the box we all construct for each other. You get that when you put these type of really sharp, trusted advisors together. They have great hearts. They wouldn't be asked to be in the group or wouldn't be accepted for membership if they didn't. So these are givers, not takers.
With these, the group that you're talking about for VIPDFW, will any of the tab members be members in this? Is there any exclusion, or
That's
is
a
it
great
all
question. It is B2B. So I have tab members that are B2C, so business to consumer. These are all B2B, business to business. They serve the small to medium-sized business, so between $1 million and $100 million in the DFW area are their clients now. And the reason I call them trusted advisors is that when you are working with an attorney or a CPA or a financial advisor or someone that does what you do with this show or on a tab board, they become your go-to person because they know you deeply, you know them deeply, and you trust each other. And so they say, I need your help in finding somebody that can do this for me. Do you have anyone you recommend? The members will go through a screening process when someone recommends someone. There'll be a process. The board will have to vote on them. They go through a background check to make sure there's nothing untoward, fraud-wise in their background, because we want to make sure when I refer anyone to Pat Dewar who says I need this, I'm 100% sure that there's nothing going on there that other than they haven't pulled the wool over anybody's eyes. So the members will be vetted. And then the VIPDFW.org is a website where we will all the members will have their own pages. They'll be able to explain on there what they do, because America loves to shop and look and check people out at night on the weekends. So the website will be up there at all times. We'll also have many educational courses. For example, Connie McCarty, who owns Rainwater Business Advisors, she was meeting with a potential client in Dallas, and he said, what is this EBITDA? What's this EBITDA? They keep talking about this EBITDA. And he's like, I'm tired of hearing about that. What is it? And so she took the time to explain it to him, and she is actually going to put together a PowerPoint on the website that explains what an EBITDA is and why it's important to you. For every dollar of EBITDA calculated in your company, she can get you more than likely $4 to $5, multiple. So an EBITDA is very important. Okay, so that type of thing. So people can go and take these courses and read these PowerPoints, read the white papers, see video, and understand what something means without having to go ask. And then hopefully, if they need that specialty, they'll contact somebody on the website.
That's really excellent. One of the things that I love about what you're doing is, as connectors, and I know both of us, we end up being the hub for a lot of different people.
Yes.
And so when you're like that, people are connecting you. And a lot of times, I have to admit, if I know somebody that needs, that has a solution for a person, I just hand the ball off and go, you guys figure it out. What I love about what you're doing is you're saying, no, I'm going to at least know that person. We're going to have some agreements with that person. We're going to do some research on that person.
Right.
So that maybe we won't, they're not, I want to say they're not no longer sinners.
Yeah.
If I can use that many negatives in a sentence. But I mean, the idea is that they are as vetted as you can. Yes. To protect
the person that's asking for.
Will it be open as far as visibility to the public, as far with the members? Anyone
can go to the website. They can see who's on there. They can read their pages. For example, that same attorney, Larry Brown, Brown PC, his website no longer only says IRS. He's redone his entire website, and the page on there describes the passion of that firm for emerging businesses and small businesses and helping them. One of our good friends, Tony Ford, who's a speaker and an amazing businessman, one of his sayings is, if you start it right, it runs right. If you start it wrong, you're always fixing it. So.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. And I know that it's like one person said the other day, they said, you ever been bit by an elephant? No. Ever been bit by a mosquito? It's the little things that get you.
Uh-huh.
In
It's
any
the thing you
business.
don't understand. Yeah, or the thing that you think you understand and you don't. So, yeah.
So, in looking at this, who's the ideal member for you guys?
They are a trusted advisor that has a reputation in the community for being a giver, not a taker. They're involved in the community affairs. They are a person that's already making referrals, being asked for referrals for people in other specialties. And they tend to have clients for a long time, so they have deep relationships with the people they serve. And they have the same need that we do in the alternative board for people asking them for, who do you know that does great video production? Who do you know that does internet work that can help me do this and get my message out there? That type of person. They have, I don't know what a servant's heart,
Right.
a servant leader, I guess is the word for it. So that type of person, as I'm a boomer, and as we have aged, I've met many boomers that have the same attitude. We're like, okay, we have a finite amount of time here on earth, and we want to be around people that we admire, trust, and enjoy being around, and introduce more and more into that group. So that's a good kind of a slice on a member.
Any kind of, I want to say, financial requirements of their business?
When we do the background check, it's mainly for fraud. It's not, we don't check out their finances. They can be a small firm, they can be a large firm, doesn't matter.
But they need to be B2B.
But it's B2B. B2B. We don't have any consumer, although consumers could come to the website and learn something if they wanted to, but we're all B2B.
And you want to cap this thing at 100 for DFW. Is that what you were saying?
That's what we've talked about, just because we want to be able to have events where it's not huge. I don't want to fill an entire coliseum with people at tables, although it'd be great. We want to keep it small, intimate, and cover all of the different specialty areas that there are out there with recommended people.
Is there a list available of slots that are open?
Yes, that will be on the website. We are just now going through, we've just had our second outreach meeting, and we'll have one more, and that will be on the website. So if somebody is interested, they can go to the website and contact us. There's a contact page there. They can call me on that phone. We don't have our admin, so they'll get me. So, because this is a new organization, and they can find out when that breakfast, I think it's going to be a lunch.
Very good. So right now we're beginning of July towards the 1st of August of 2014. You are expecting to make certain adjustments in pricing, I guess, so people get a better benefit in joining now?
Joining now, you will lock in a founding member price. So this is a $600 membership fee for the next 5 years. After that, it will probably go to $900, and then as we are larger, more well-known, probably to $1,200.
Now that's $600 per year, is what you're saying. Okay. So
heck of a bargain.
Yeah, I mean, especially since they'll be saving themselves an extra $1,500 or something in signing up early, and then they get to secure their slot.
Their slot.
And then what this ends up being is a referral source for them.
It does.
A semi-marketing source for them.
It is. They get to tell their story, and it's not a leads group. It's not a referral group. Other than if I'm in tab and I need somebody that does, trust work, or they do exit strategy, or they do, I need a specialized fractional CFO type of person to help my 3PL, my third-party logistics person. I will go to this group first because I've met them, I know them, I've had lunch with them, we've talked about many things, we probably share some clients already, so this will be a great group to go to. So in that respect, it's a leads group, a marketing group, but it's really for the service of ourselves to our clients, to our business owners.
Right, right. So I guess one of the things that I would be curious is somebody wants to get a hold of you and connect with you. What is the onboarding process?
They would fill out a form that, and there's a small fee for that to put it through the fraud check, et cetera. It would go, when that comes back, it would go to, right now we have a steering committee. We will be electing a board of directors after we get up and running. So the membership will elect the board. The board will be in charge of this, like I said, nonprofit. The steering committee at this point would see if there's a place for them and have a conversation with them about that. For example, I'll use Jessica Miller again as an example. She's a commercial lender, and obviously she can lend from here to there, but she has claimed commercial lending in the 10 to 25 million slot. So we have room on both sides of that, and we have room for specialty lenders. For example, like there's another banker that's interested in joining the group that is specializes in mergers and acquisition type of work. That's their specialty. So we have many, many, many categories like that, and they just need to have a conversation with us to see if there's a place for them. Mm-hmm.
And then the different events that you have planned, dinners, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. But it's not like it's monthly or anything like that. It's
quarterly.
Not weekly, monthly, it's quarterly.
Quarterly for these events. There will be optional events where the quarterlies everyone should come to, definitely, to take advantage of the group and let people get to know them well on a personal level. The other optional events are more like a lunch and learn, where we'll have 2 or 3 of the members talk in depth about what they do. Like I said, like a Rotary classification talk.
Very nice. So I guess one of the things I'd be curious about is what's the vision for the future? We get 100 here in DFW.
Yeah.
Any vision of expansion?
Yes, the company that is putting this together for us, Brad Evans, who's on the steering committee, a founding member of bepublicpro.com, builds websites that can be used as templates in other places, and that's the way he's built this one. TAB has a nexus of facilitators, for example, in California, just here in the United States, in Chicago, on the East Coast, who are in a group or in an area like DFW where there's several of them, and they have already expressed an interest in looking at, it could be VIP Chicago, VIP San Bernardino County, California. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can plug into this template that he's created any kind of organization.
Very good. So I guess one of the things I'd be curious about is, do you see the ability for people to come in through the VIP DFW.org website, become a member, and would you, if they qualify for TAB, would you encourage them? And if so, who do you want to connect to on in that group as well?
Well, there might be a TAB member in group, because all of my TAB members are business owners. The typical business owner for TAB is, I'd say our sweet spot's in the 1 to 20 million range in annual revenue, and they have 5 to, well, in some cases up to 300 employees. So they have lots to talk about. There's lots of operational drama going on there, and they enjoy and get the most out of a TAB board. So if there's any of those that show up in this group, absolutely love to have them in TAB, because what our responsibility is to fill these boards with business owners, managing directors, managing partners that have complex things to talk about. Their human resources, their operations, their financial, their strategic, their, you name it, everything in a business. And so that all of the rest of us on that board can learn from that. We don't have to be sued because somebody tried to take our company while we were out of the country, which just happened to one of my members, and he had to take him to court, and he had to get injunctions, and anyway, we all got to learn from that, so that we now all have much better non-competes in place because of his experience. So yeah, it's love that kind of stuff.
I wouldn't doubt. One of the things that I see that VIP DFW would be so powerful of an asset to the TAB members anyways, just because you and those that you influence and those that you attract through this message will become pillars that all of these TAB members can actually utilize to build a better foundation for their company on. Is that what you see?
It's true, and it's interesting because that's another way that I will benefit from this organization is they will know more about TAB, because 99% of the people, you know, that hear this have never heard of a peer board. They don't know what that is. They know what a peer is. They kind of sort of know what a board of directors is. But in this way, all of these other trusted advisors will come to understand what we actually do. They'll come and visit a board. They'll come, so as they find out more about what TAB does, they have business owner clients that will benefit from membership in TAB, because I might be the attorney for this person, I might be the CPA for this person, but I don't do all that other operational stuff. Whereas TAB works with them on all of their operations, not just a narrow slice. I can get them the loan, but I don't, in the banker or the CPA or the attorney or whoever it is, can see that they really, really need help over in these areas, but it's not their purview to say, hey, your business plan needs help and you need somebody to hold your feet to the fire to get this stuff done, because I can't make you any more loans if you don't do that. And we meet actually a lot of our TAB members through those type of bankers and lawyers and CPAs. So.
I wouldn't doubt. One of the things I love is usually at a TAB lunch and learn type of thing, you show your little video, and it's a story of the entrepreneur who's going along, falls into a mud pit.
Quicksand. He falls into the quicksand.
Is it quicksand?
Yeah, quicksand, yeah.
And you know, other people walk by, the consultant, the coach, and the expert, and whatever.
They give their advice and then they leave.
Right,
you know,
right.
Exactly. And the TAB board comes marching along, and he's like, help, help, get me out of the quicksand. And they all jump into the quicksand with him, and he goes, great, now we're all stuck in here. And they look at him and they go, yeah, but we've been here before, and we'll show you how to get out.
That's right, right.
That's what a TAB board does.
Well, and the one thing that I see that the VIP DFW does is that it literally creates folks on ropes that are feeders to help people get out of the muck and mire.
Yeah, it's all about the business owner. That's the bottom line for this organization, for TAB, and for all these trusted advisors. We are all there to serve the business public, do better, or realize their dreams, their goals, because none of us know it all. None of us know it all.
I wouldn't doubt. I mean, one of the things that I'm really excited about is that this image, this vision, is very different from like the BNI or the networking group, because it's not the weekly, the monthly, or anything even like that. And you're collaborative in its structure for marketing, referrals, and benefit to each other. And will there be any organizations that you might actually help help? In other words, outreach from that group. Are there any visions or dreams of that?
The exciting thing about creating an organization like this and handing it off to the members, that is a repository of, oh my gosh, 1,000 years of business experience out there in those brains. And like, I go back to Rotary as an example. Rotary International is full of business people that care very deeply about the world. And when you get that kind of laser focus on improving everything around you, everything you touch, that's the way I see VIP DFW. It's more of a, while it doesn't do projects like Rotary, it might in the future, because the board and the members will guide it where it is to go. So it's exciting for me. It's not just my vision, it's the vision of the entire group. Where do they want to take it? How do they see they can best help businesses in the DFW area? I can see us at 100 members, full-time administrator. There's a lot of good that we can do, working with the Business Assistance Center, working with the incubators, the IdeaWorks in Fort Worth, the incubator in Dallas. There's so, in Denton at the University of North Texas, there are so many different ways that that these organizations can work together, it's beautiful. I mean,
I love
everybody's
it.
working in the same direction for the good of all.
Well, and you're talking about finding givers that give.
Right.
You know, not just getters. You
Not
really
just people
want,
making a living. They're
Right.
not just making a living. I mean, they have some deeper meaning in their lives. It's not that I get your money because I do your tax work. It's that I care to keep you out of tax court. I strategize with you. Nina and John DeLucci, they're a husband and wife team, CPA and enrolled IRS agent, and they strategize with a company owner to manage those taxes, manage things in a way that you don't run into these triggers. That there's a lot of stuff out there that business owners don't know about that whole area. That's a really scary area for business owners, and that's exciting. I mean, that's the type of person that makes a great member.
I believe. Now, in order to connect with you, they need to do what?
Just call, go to the website, fill out, hey, I'm interested. Can you send me some information? Can somebody have somebody contact me? And then we'll get back to them.
So it starts with just the relationship, just let's get to know you, let's make sure you're a good fit,
Yep.
that you like what you see and we like what we see.
Yes.
There are background checks involved.
Yep. We'll do that every year so that we make sure that we're on the up and up and that everyone in the organization has a clean bill of health as far as there's no fraud, there's no anything like that in the back. I mean, because you can live next to somebody, and we've all seen some of that, recently in the very Tony neighborhoods around here, and they haul them off in the paddy wagon, and you're just like, whoa, we're like taking people's money, just not good characters. And so we just make sure there's none of that going on.
I believe. If you were to talk to, in the next 30 seconds or so, what would you want a business owner that might benefit from this to know?
Is that there are people that care very much, that are great advisors to businesses, and know a whole group of other great advisors to business that will guide you. You can come to the website, you can take those courses, you don't ever have to talk to anybody. If you don't want to, you can just read up on everybody. You can, again, get that learning from the courses on there, and that by itself is a huge benefit to a business owner. And if you do have something that you need, give us a call.
Excellent. Thanks so much. One of the things that I want you guys to do is to go to VIPDFW.org and connect. If you're a business owner, you deserve it. This is Pat Dewar, the Business Spotlight. Thanks again for being with us, and we'll see you next time.